Elite Facts presents
8 signs that your heart isn't working properly.
8.
Snoring and sleep apnea. Hate it when your spouse snores in their sleep? Well, maybe that should be of concern to both of you. If you or your partner has sleep apnea, then your chances of having a heart attack in the next 5 years is triple the normal risk. Now, you're probably thinking, how is that possible? What's the reason for this? Well, the reason that sleep apnea can cause a heart attack is because it has potential to damage the right side of the heart because of the strain your lungs are under trying to break through obstruction. Sleep problems can occur from other things like excessive snoring. If you experience any of these problems, definitely seek out medical advice as soon as possible. This can also be said for the symptoms following this item on the list, and we'll be saying it constantly throughout the video.
7.
Swollen feet and legs. Now here's an obscure sign that's fairly obvious to see. Now just looking at your foot may not be enough to see if they're swollen or not. Sure, they might be a bit red or puffy, but that doesn't mean they're completely swollen. One of the best ways of knowing this is if you have trouble putting your shoes on and they feel really tight by the end of the day. The reason your feet struggle with your shoes is because you could possibly be experiencing some fluid retention. It's easy to identify when you take off your socks, and you can see deep marks or indents into your ankles and legs, accompanied by puffy areas of skin. This is called edema and is an indicator of coronary artery disease, or CAD, which is where the arteries that supply blood to your heart tissue are blocked. Edema can point to other signs of cardiovascular disease and even heart failure.
6.
Fatigue. Fatigue is something we all don't really pay attention to. We all mainly just power through workplace fatigue until we reach the weekend or whenever you get time off. However, fatigue isn't something that should be brushed to the side. No, instead, it's something you should really pay close attention to. Women don't typically experience the same signs of an unhealthy heart as men do. In fact, often women report extreme fatigue, as if someone let all the air out of their balloon prior to having a heart attack. This fatigue can arise a few days leading up to the heart event, and so going to get it checked out immediately can mean life or death for some women. It's important not to waste time in this situation, as it could also indicate heart failure. As for avoiding fatigue, do yourself a favor and take a break. Now, we can't say much for people who do manual labor, but for people who work behind computers and phones, just take a few minutes break when you feel run down. Staring at a screen all day with no breaks can do a lot of damage to us. You're entitled to take breaks every now and then, so long as you don't abuse that right. And once again, like we've mentioned in previous videos, leave work at work. When you're off the clock, use that time to chill out.
5.
A cough that won't quit. A persistent and rough cough is something that should be a cause for alarm as it is. However, we all mainly link this as a problem with either our throats or our lungs. But as it turns out, it can be a sign of heart disease. If you suffer from a cough like this and have a history with heart problems, pay special attention to the possibility. If you have a long-lasting cough that produces a white or pink mucus, it could be a sign of heart failure. This happens when the heart can't keep up with the body's demands, causing blood to leak back into the lungs. Once again, don't wait around to see if the problem just goes away. You're better safe than sorry, so go see a doctor immediately if you've experienced the previous symptoms of this type of cough.
4.
Throat or jaw pain. Now, okay, just to be clear, by itself, throat and jaw pain most likely isn't heart-related, as pain in that area is more often than not caused by muscular issues, sinus problems, or even just a common cold. However, if you have pain or pressure in the center of your chest that spreads up into your throat or jaw, it could be a sign of a heart attack. Call 911 and seek medical attention to make sure everything is all right.
3.
Nausea, indigestion, heartburn, or stomach pain. Some people have these symptoms during a heart attack. They may even vomit. Studies have shown that women are more likely to report this type of symptom than men are. Of course, you can have an upset stomach for many reasons, so really that shouldn't be something to be alarmed at until more symptoms have started to show, as it could just be from something you've eaten. However, you should never rule out the possibility of stomach pain and nausea being linked to having a heart attack, as those are potential symptoms. So like every symptom on this list, don't risk it and go get checked out by your doctor.
2,
Irregular heartbeat. More formally known as an arrhythmia, an irregular heartbeat is something we get when our hearts don't pump blood at its normal rhythm. Now, this isn't something that's strictly for people who live a rather unhealthy lifestyle, as there have been many cases of active people who have this same condition. An irregular heartbeat is a major indicator for heart failure or an impending heart attack, so it's something that shouldn't be taken so lightly. Arrhythmia is caused by the interruption of the electrical system that controls the heart. There are many different types of arrhythmias, some which indicate your heart is failing. They include the likes of atrial fibrillation. The heartbeat is a lot faster than normal, sometimes up to 4 times faster, and pumping 300 times a minute. People with AFib are 5 times more likely to have a stroke compared to people without the condition. Atrial flutter. Similar to atrial fibrillation, but the heartbeat is a little more organized. It also causes a fast heartbeat and is a leading cause of strokes. Premature ventricular contractions. These contractions are also known as skipped heartbeats. They are an indication of heart disease. Once again, if any of these problems occur, see a doctor as soon as possible and see what your options are for living a more healthy lifestyle.
1,
Uncontrollable sweating. Working up a sweat when you've been to the gym or because it's a really hot day is nothing to worry about. I mean, if you didn't sweat during and even a bit after a workout, then you should be worried about your workout routine, as it may not be doing much for you. But if for whatever reason you start feeling clammy out of nowhere despite the fact that you've not been active at all and it's not a hot day, then that should be of concern, especially if you feel some form of pain in your chest while working up a sweat. Whether it's a slight uncomfortable pain or something more painful, if you experience this, seek medical attention. And that's our list. Did we leave any out that you know about? Let us know in the comments section below. Please remember to subscribe and tap the bell button so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more Elite Facts.